Going live, and we are live to the world of YouTube. Greetings, everyone. Welcome back once again to the IMRC Cup Series, season number 10. 2 races to go in the season. Final race of the playoffs. We're going to determine tonight who will be battling it out at Homestead for the championship. 3 drivers are officially locked in. 1 spot still to be decided at what I think a lot would consider a very wild card type race. Michigan tonight, 60 laps on tap, was slightly shortened, but should still be a great show nonetheless. I got a couple folks here to help me call this one. Blake is back once again.
Yeah, thank you for having me as always. Looking forward to this race, and may the best man win, and may the best man get into that final spot.
Right on. Godspeed to all of them, and a new face to the booth, but a familiar face to the IMRC. William Goss has joined us.
Thank you for having me tonight.
Looking forward to having you, man. I appreciate you. I'll tell you what. We'll help you get your feet wet here. If you would like to go down the top 5 starting lineup for us.
All right, yep, let's do that. So our top 5 starting tonight, of course, league admin and pretty much the guy who gets every single pole in this league. Shane Sides, starting P1 tonight, my teammate, really needs a win here tonight to get in. He would have to finish 15 spots ahead of rival Natan, starting 7th here, in order to get in if one of our chase winners is winning tonight. Jovan Anderson, another really fast guy, starting in 2nd. He's always a threat in pretty much any race, in any series that he's in. Donald Prad, also just another threat pretty much everywhere, starting in 3rd position. LaPrad, he also kind of needs a win to get in here tonight. If, like I mentioned earlier, if Tyler, Roger, or Dejan were to win the race tonight and secure themselves even further, then Dunn would have to finish 10 spots ahead of Natan. Natan's pretty set where he is. Robbie Gilvin, starting in P4 with that 36,666. Just watch out for that. You know, that usually doesn't mean anything good. And then, of course, Tyler Mallon. I'm saying today, probably the favorite to win this race. Extremely fast everywhere that they run also. And definitely a big threat to win the title at Homestead, for sure.
Agreed to that one. Of course, keep an eye on Mallon. Keep an eye on Gilvin as well. Definitely in a must-win situation. Going down the rest of the order, though, Liam Tingley, another strong qualifying effort in 6th place. Been really coming around with the qualifying results as of late. Natan Amorito, as Will mentioned, with a bit of a cushion, holding on to the 4th position. But definitely going to be keeping an eye on the drivers around him. Alexander Gonzalez, another driver in a must-win situation. Absolute must-win. But anything could happen. They're starting in 8th place. Austin Ogo and Dejan Weeks round out the top 10. Ogo also pretty much must win. It's pretty much must win for anyone below the cut line unless something really bad happens to the 36. Dejan, of course, locked in. Sean Ryan, Tristan Allen, Henry Nova are the drivers that all took lap time. And then Eric Rodriguez on track tonight. First time I think that we've seen that driver this season. And Felipe Teixeira rounds out the field. So as we kick it to the race session, I'll go ahead and ask the both of you what your expectations are for tonight and who might be able to prevail in a race of many unknowns.
Well, I think in terms of the overall speed, drive, and determination, I think Natan has definitely got a really hard shot to be able to go out and win today. He's done well at some of the faster tracks and everything like that. I would just see it as, you know what, getting yourself settled in to get into the playoffs, that's good. But knowing Natan, he's absolutely going to try and go for the win all the same.
What are you thinking, Will?
I am looking forward. Oh, sorry. I am looking forward to a very good race here at Michigan. IMRC races here have always been very fun from my experience. I'm just hoping it stays clean for the sake of the playoff drivers trying to get in, especially for Dunn, Ogo, and Shane, because they're the guys who are going to need it the most. Especially, I think Shane up front here, he needs it to stay clean. He's got the pace. He's got some really good tire savers in the back with Ogo and Malin, and even Dunn to an extent, right behind him there. He's going to need a really good race, a really good complete race in order to pull together here. But, you know, maybe situations will change later in the race. They're going to need a yellow at some point, perhaps. But I'm really hoping for a good, clean race so we can determine who really is the best and who's going to be in slot number 4 going to Homestead.
I am all in for that. 60 laps on tap. Pit window looking to be about 23, 25 laps, somewhere in that range. Pace car pulls in. This is the cutoff race for the playoffs. Who's going to get in? We are going to find out as we are green at Michigan.
Shane off to a good start on the high side. It's where you want to be.
And already a battle in about the third row, riding about 3 wide, roughly.
Oh, man, that is early for 3 wide. That's for sure.
It's turning a bit dangerous.
Weeks almost forcing the issue there. Great run off, though, for the 63. Going to clear the 03. Looks like maybe now they'll start to try to settle it down. But Dunn LaPrade already up to second. And you alluded to that outside there, Will. Obviously, I haven't run too many laps on this track myself, so is there really a preferred line around here? For the most part, it's been the bottom at most of the tracks that these guys are going to. But is that the case here?
I would say, due to Michigan's shape and size and how large it is, the high side can very much be useful. I'd say in the opening laps, especially here, because that low side doesn't really have the speed on those first couple laps. The tire's got to build up temperature. It's still very cold, so I mean, you get in that wrong part of the track down there and it could just eat you up and it could throw you around. But now that the tires are heating up, maybe the low side will be the one that you want to be on. But like I mentioned, tire saving, if that high side's got grip, if they rubber it in enough, they could stay up there, they could save a bit of tire, and that could come in handy way later in the race.
Dunn LaPrade with a courtesy move on the 36 there. Looks like let him by there. Those two pretty much teammates looking to make something happen. But I'm going to keep my eye on that 69. Robbie Gilvin went into Daytona in a must-win in order to make it to the postseason and was able to pull it off. And is showing decent speed here at the moment, running 5th place. Definitely, I think, going to be a threat. Assuming, of course, that lap time doesn't come back to bite him. We got to keep mentioning that one. But right now, Shane Sides leading. Jovan Anderson looking pretty content to try to help him along here as we're in the early goings.
Yeah, they've sorted it out pretty early here. I honestly didn't expect that. I expected a bit more shuffling here and there between like all the chase guys who'd want to be in a better spot in order to, you know, put themselves in good spot later in the race to end up getting in that final 4. But, you know, they're just kind of chilling right now. Like I said, Shane pretty much exactly where he wants to be, exactly where he needs to be. I looked like we might have had an incident at some point. I saw smoke, but I didn't see a car.
There's also smoke. I don't see Teixeira on the track, and he is retired from the race already. Our first DNF in the number 16. Oh boy, we got a battle for the lead.
We got a
already
move already, yeah.
Ooh, a little sideways is the 36. But hey, that's Amorito style. No matter what lap it is, he is not going to hold anything back. Already trying to make some noise up at the front, getting underneath in the 93. Got underneath the 2 for a moment, but then got really squirrely on that inside line.
Yeah, Shane almost had the lead taken away from him there, but he held on to it there, and now Natan kind of in, you know, a one-man island down there. That's usually where he'd be at Homestead, but taking it 1 week early here at Michigan. We're gonna see if it pays off. He's got Robbie behind him, or he had Robbie behind him, and not anymore. He might end up falling back through the pack now.
Yeah, a little bit now. I'll ask that too. I mean, we've been to a couple of tracks that I guess some could consider to be similar to Homestead. This one may be a little more grippy, maybe a little more fast-paced, but could maybe we get an indication tonight in terms of who might be the biggest threat heading into Homestead?
Well, I mean, I think you're gonna have to look at it from a whole season perspective. Homestead is definitely a grippy track, but you can't necessarily put on the same style of driving as you would here at Michigan. So there's similar qualities there, and there's no doubt. I would say that the track grip levels are kind of similar, but just your approach, how much you let off, how much brake you're using, that's kind of not really existent here at Michigan. Homestead, it's more so going to be more of a factor. 36 dives down to the inside of the two, side by side. We got a battle for the lead.
Well, he's got a good run off of turn 2 here. Is he going to be able to take full advantage of that, too, with the run on the outside and the drafting help from the 93? We'll see what Amoredo can do here on corner entry.
I think he's going to get him here in corner entry at least, sneak ahead. But no, that two on the outside is still fighting along.
If he gets the help up there, he might clear him.
Oh.
Joven kind of made his mind up there. He gave the 36 just that extra bit of help that he needed to clear him. But now Shane around the outside. He's going to try it again here.
Yeah, Shane in a much more desperate situation. I mean, the 36, it was looking at that 2 car going, that is my playoff hopes. Oh, it gets
boy.
really loose. Maybe trying to keep the 2 behind him. But so far, so clean. It's good to see.
Yeah, Natan at the moment, entering the race, he was good by 10 points over Dunn. So Dunn would have to finish 10 spots ahead of him on points in order to advance. But with Natan in the top 10 here, it's a must-win for all those guys.
And Natan with a bit of a moment there, nearly clipped the wall. Don't know if maybe the car pushed up too much. Just like that, falls back to 3rd. Side-by-side battle going on a little further back. Dejan Weeks gets the spot over Tyler Mallon. They were side-by-side for the 7th position. Check on through the field. Aside from the 16, everyone's still out on track. Eric Rodriguez has fallen off the draft a little bit. That's still a long way to go, and anything that can happen, including green flag pit stops, which we're already about halfway to, maybe not quite halfway to, but that's going to be big as well. Don't remember what pit road speed is. Did any of y'all pick that up by chance?
I imagine it would be 55.
55. And this is maybe not the easiest pit road to get down to speed at, so we'll see who might be the beneficiary of possibly any mistakes, or who might end up making a mistake themselves, as Jovan Anderson diving to the inside.
If we do get green flag stops, I just got to say, I hope for Shane's sake that he doesn't have a Scorpios pit stop and just drive right into the wall spinning. That is a Will Goss classic.
New leader.
I did want to talk about one thing real quick, just going back to earlier with the 16's retirement, as the 74, I think, hit the wall lightly, or at least came close to it. 16 spun out, solo spin, and then just off pace, off the track, and went ahead and parked it.
Okay, so early exit from the race for the 16 of Felipe Teixeira. Hopefully we'll see him at Homestead. Hopefully we'll see a pretty nice healthy field. Will, I know that you had mentioned about possibly commentating that race as well, but it might also be cool to see you on track, because I remember last season you were one of those who in the very long run you were really hauling. Got up into the top 5, and I just saw the 36 clutch, I think.
Early strategy from Natan. If he can't do it with the tires, which I don't think he can at this point,
Gilvin.
He's going to have to try it on the fuel. Gilvin almost cutting, if not just blatantly cutting the 7 off.
Don't know if he got a little loose or what that was. Mallon!
Oh, are we 3 wide?
Oh, man, yes we are.
Oh,
Oh,
1869 in the 7.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, very tight.
Oh, boy.
Really close there. Liam Tingley right on the tail of all them.
Why
Block!
are we are going
And
almost
we are 2-car
4
tandeming
wide.
at Michigan.
It's only lap 14 of 60.
Remember, Dejan with a race win, he honestly probably just feels like he can do anything he wants at this point. He doesn't have anything to do before
proving that
Homestead,
right
but I
now.
don't think he should make a rival with the 7.
Yeah, if the 7 does not make it, and the 10 does, I don't think that the 7's going to be too willing to let the 10 let him go if things get dicey between those guys at Homestead. That's always been another topic that we've brought up a couple times. Have been if you do someone maybe a little dirty, and they don't make the playoffs and you do, that might not bode well for you in the long run.
Yeah, especially in this league, because, I mean, I'm not really proud to say, but I mean, tensions do get really heated. Rivalries can and do develop throughout the season, of course. If anyone remembers, like way back IMRC before it was even broadcasted, Jack Merkel and Joey Murphy, probably the most infamous. We've had plenty of rivalries on par with that since, and especially with this playoff system, once it's been integrated, I mean, there's just so much potential for people to get angry at each other, and it could definitely play into Homestead if somebody screws somebody over here.
I mean, even this season, we had it between the 10 and the 51. Of course, the 51 is not here tonight, which bit of a bummer. So pretty much Dylan Schwallenberg will definitely not be at Homestead. Bit of a shocker considering the speed that he had. But a bummer, and hopefully maybe we'll see him on track then. Nonetheless, Amoito continuing to clutch, dropping back. That is interesting. Oh no, that's a save and a half
they
from
saved
the 10. We will stay green.
I mentioned Dejan earlier with that win, and it's a very good thing he has it, because we could have had a rivalry going into Homestead with the 69 and the 10.
And that could have been a bit ugly. Looks like the 69 just pushed up down to the wall, and
He's very damaged on his right rear also. That's pushed in pretty good.
oh boy, he tries to throw the block on the 63. That's not going to work. Yeah, both those guys probably... I mean, they just kind of quietly snuck their way into the chase. I mean, Gilvin did it in spectacular fashion at Daytona. But Alexander Gonzalez just kind of hung out and did what he had to do and just snuck in there. He's been pretty much one of the last guys ever since within the playoffs, but has just always been quiet. Never has made too much noise. Just has always run solidly. And just kind of kept his nose clean. As we got a little race going on here for second place now. The 2, the 18, the 7.
And it looks like Malin might clear Shane, and Ogo might do the same. Maybe starting up front for Shane wasn't the move that he wanted. If it was me, knowing me, and me and Shane drive pretty similar, I'd say we'd want to be saving tires in about the position he is right here at the beginning of the race. It's hard to save tires and be out front at the same time, and it could be biting him right here. Maybe he's saving a little bit to preserve for later in the run, but with the fuel window coming up, I think it's just reached the end of the tire life, and this first run will teach Shane a lot, and we'll see how he does it on the second, and it's definitely taught Malin and Joven a couple things, because they are moving up here.
For sure. A couple Toyotas leading, a couple Fords, and then a Chevrolet in 5th as Don LaPrade gets that spot. I've noticed that there's definitely a lot more fall off than I thought there would be. Almost a second so far fall off as Malin actually, yeah, as you said, really learning something here, looking to get the job done. Joven saying, no, you don't, my friend.
And these two are about to put on a show. These are two of the best in this league across the current state of NR in general. And we're going to see him put on a show here. It's about whether or not the 93 saved enough tires while managing to the front. But don't count that 7 out. I mean, Ogo is a tire-saving master, and he's going to take it 3 wide.
Oh! Golly, a little early for that move. I think with how much they're saving, they might be able to go a little bit longer on the tires. So, as Malin officially takes the lead away, the winningest driver on the season with 4, more than any other driver, and maybe looking to make it a 5th and really say, hey, Homestead is mine. But I'm just going to throw this out there. If they're able to save enough, would you maybe wonder if Amoito is trying to make it a one-stop race?
I don't know if you can necessarily make it a one-stop race entirely, but I can say that you can probably be able to stretch it out just a little bit further than others. I don't know exactly how that's all going to fall in, but hey, you never know.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, I mean, we had a case a season ago, last year in the lights division. if I remember right, wasn't it Oscar Ramos or Gonzalez?
I believe it was both of
Who-
them at Auto Club.
Oh, I
Yeah.
remember that. I was in that race. I did
I'm not-
terribly that race.
I'm not saying it's impossible to do in Cup. It's probably just a little bit more difficult to do so, but you know that strategy could come into play.
He would be cutting it extremely close. When I got on track, I saw the amount of laps I had in the tank was 25, and this is a 60-lap race. You'd be having to save 5 laps on both runs, and I don't think with the position and the speed he's keeping that is possible, but it could be an overcut strategy. Maybe he could be banking on better tires at the end of the race. We mentioned he's pretty aggressive. Saving tires really isn't in his racing repertoire, as he maybe got bumped into the wall there. I could not tell.
He's actually getting bump drafted by the 63 at the moment, who now might be looking to go by him.
Yeah, the inverse numbers fighting here.
36, 63. The 03 lurking there, right behind them. Also doing a pretty good job. Everyone's
You're
still
coming to
keeping it
lap
pretty
25
tight.
here also.
That's true, yeah. So pit stops might be imminent. Everyone's still keeping it relatively close, as Austin Ogo now gets past the 93.
And the 77 of Eric Rodriguez may have a problem. Maybe ran out of gas.
We are down on the apron of the track here. I'm gonna try to look at it here really quickly on replay.
Oh, and spins out now. Coming to pit road, I believe.
Oh yeah, he did.
Lots of people are coming.
And
I believe he's going to
he's-
park it. Oh, and
Oh,
that's
that
dangerous,
was
dangerous,
the
dangerous.
worst.
I don't.
That was the worst. Don't back up! Don't back up!
I mean, not the best spot there.
I don't know if that was on the 77 for that, but a lot of drivers nearly missing pit road. Everyone coming in, everyone signaled that they were coming in this lap.
Wow.
It looks like a yellow flag pit stop, but it's not. It's just everybody.
Eric did make the announcement that he was going to pit. I just have no idea what happened.
He spun out entering pit road. He was kind of off the main area you'd go, though, but a lot of drivers reacted. I didn't see anyone completely spin out, but it was very close.
Yeah,
Oh,
that was a
boy.
bit ugly. We'll take another look at that very shortly once everyone gets off of pit road here. The 36 did come down, so it looks like that strategy I thought he might try to pull probably not so. Malin and Anderson will lead them off. Did anyone stay out?
We had a couple
Henry Nova sure
drivers.
did, and he just missed the
Nova
cone.
missed pit road. I'm not sure if that'll give him a penalty. I think Dejan has stayed. Did he stay out? Or did he go in? He's 13th at the moment.
Ogo stayed out for sure, now on pit road himself.
We'll see if that plays off for him too. It's usually better to pit with the crowd, especially here, because you're going to have just that little bit of draft.
Absolutely. Robbie Gilvin, I'm not sure if he may have fallen a lap down or if he just gained that much ground on these guys. There's Amoedo, the 63 and the 2. 74.
Robbie is very much an undercut strategy kind of person, so that could have been what happened there.
Nova
Didn't see you, so I'm not
did.
sure.
Nova did manage to get serviced, by the way. So I don't know how all that's gonna work out. Oh no, the 7.
Oh, I'll go.
We saved it, but that's going to cost him a little bit of time.
Gonna put him in the clutches of the 36. Definitely not where you want to be early on.
Oh dear,
Ooh.
goodness. 63 almost hits
That's
the
my
7.
face. 63 is wiggling. Very
So
loose.
far, this strategy has worked out for Robbie. He's in 3rd, I believe.
Yeah, he must have undercut them for sure. And running really well. I mean, hey, he's got to go off the beaten path, trying to make it to Homestead somehow, some way.
As long as he just keeps pace with these guys, if he didn't pit too early, it might play out for him. He could get a yellow here too and get lucky.
That would be really big if he were to be able to get a yellow. Yeah, this race is really trucking along. We're almost halfway through already. Green the whole way thus far. And everyone's still relatively close together. What I am going to do here real quick, though, is get a closer look at what happened with the 77. If y'all can keep an eye on the live shot for me.
Absolutely.
So 77 looked like may have just tried to be conservative coming down, slowed down on the back stretch, and then was just gonna probably just ease his way in. But then I feel like, and yeah, just kind of the transition a little bit on the banking just caught him out. But then yeah, I'm not too sure about the call to stop right there.
Yeah, I thought he was going to end up like toe tow truck returned to pit or something. I
thought
didn't think he was going to stay there that long. Yeah, I thought so also.
But still on track. Pretty much everyone still on track except for the 16. 77 is a lap down. Everyone else on the lead lap. And look at this pretty big train from fourth on back. All nose to tail pretty much. We'll see if they'll maybe be able to reel in the front three. The last lap they did go a couple tenths quicker. 0-3 spins out.
Oh, hard impact. Rear is pretty damaged too. It was just Solo though. It looked like he got maybe the apron. Yep.
Solo spin, so Green will stay out, and yep, cold, brand new tires. It is slippery out there, and
That 03 looks about done. It looks like both his right sides might be down.
yeah, either both of his right sides or both of his front tires, which I've been there plenty of times. That is not fun. But
Yep,
we stay
Ace
green.
Machine definitely has a flat somewhere.
93 still just lurking in the mirror of the 18. It is a Toyota top 3 right now, with Robbie Gilvin still holding on there in
Everyone
third.
behind Joven, those are all the playoff drivers, pretty much in order of where they need to finish in order to lock themselves in. I mean, Natan, there's hardly, 12 drivers in here. I mean, he's pretty much locked in as long as he doesn't wreck. Or if one of the other guys doesn't win, he just needs to stay in front of him at this point.
They're running as they are right now. Whether Malin or Anderson wins, if either of them win, it would all but lock it up for the 36. Unless, he has something catastrophic happen, and Dunn LaPrade, who is 10 points back, goes on an absolute tear here. And if he doesn't win, finishes like second or third. As the
Looks like the
03.
train has started to pick up the pace here too. I remember looking down the backstretch for one of the camera shots, and they were pretty far off. But I mean, you got 5 cars in a line versus 2 cars in a line, and Robbie just kind of tailing them, and they'll start to move.
They're clicking off about a tenth quicker a lap from what it looks like at the moment, even compared to the 18 and the 93. Shane Sides, you could tell you're right there. Had a run on the 7, but decided, nope, we're doing just fine as it is, so I'm going to stay put right here.
I did hear over the radio, I think Dunspotter was communicating with Shane and Ogos. They said just to stay in line, and they'll have to get him at the end here, maybe coming to this next pit cycle.
That'd be cool if this game actually did have spotters.
Oh,
Well,
the immersion, come on.
I broke the immersion. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm terrible.
Everything's a simulation.
What have I done?
We live in a simulation.
We live in NR 2003.
That wouldn't be a bad world to live in.
That'd be
Maybe.
a static person in the grandstands.
Yeah, just always cheering every time like something happens.
I'd get to watch Dale Earnhardt Jr. probably win a championship at that rate.
Well, yeah, because you could rig that to happen with the ratings.
And something maybe amiss with the 69 car. He has fallen back significantly in terms of speed.
We mentioned the undercut, so I believe it could just be a case of burnt tires. I mean, it looks like everyone is passing him here.
Burnt tires. His right side looks a little bit caved in as well. So, I think the tires are just starting to fail him here. So, and
About
just
to
like
catch
that,
the lap car of Nova.
4th to 8th. Yep, they've got Henry Nova, who
Is clutching.
major clutching. Maybe also trying for the one stopper. I mean, why not? You're a lap down now, and
I mean, also not fighting for anything, not in the playoffs. He's just here to run, have some fun. Or it could just be a clutch to let everyone go and just fight it out. I mean, Henry is that kind of person. He wouldn't want to mess with anyone's race if he doesn't have to.
yeah, he was running really well at Watkins Glen. I remember got a speeding penalty and then decided, nope, I'm done. Just went ahead and parked it there.
If he runs next season, watch out for him on road courses.
Oh, the 36 now is dropping back.
He just also really clutched hardcore right there. Golly, I mean, are you really going to save that many laps?
I mean, you got to try anything. And if, like I said earlier, I mean, there's hardly 10 drivers on the lead lap, so I mean, he could drop back to 10th and he could still be fine. Granted, if the 7-2 or 74 doesn't end up winning this thing, he's just trying strategy. I think if it plays out for him, it's good. If it doesn't, as long as he's top 10, then he's good.
That's pretty much all he needs. So
You know,
we're sorry.
oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just gonna say we're closing in on 20 to go. Top two remaining consistent, still right on top of each other. And then it get back to Ogo, Sides, and LaPrade, who are now pretty much in must-win situations. They've got to close up and make something happen.
Well, and that was the thing that I was going to say, is just kind of looking at it, you know, looking at the personalities and those who we have as our leaders right now. You know, the 18, I think he's just kind of trying to rub people's faces in it that he's been the best driver this season. And Jovan Anderson, dude has come close many a time this season, and he has just not gotten that win. He did not make it into the playoffs. So I hate to say this because I don't want it to be this way. I definitely want it to be a little bit closer, but I kind of have a feeling that this is probably how the race is going to end. One of the two, either the 18 or the 93, is going to end up winning this thing. And unless something catastrophic happens to the 36, a blown motor, and it's just enough points of a difference, I would honestly say Natan's probably got this locked up.
I mean, if it stays green like it has, it's looking pretty good for him right now. As they're actually starting to dice it up a little bit back here. Sides got a little bit tight there, but LaPrade still trying to be patient. You can tell they're still trying to reel him in. But now I think that the tires are starting to play more of a factor than draft. So
And with 20 to go, it's really the time you gotta kind of start cutting your losses. Like at this point, these guys have nothing to lose. At this point in the race. So Brad, as you see, making a pass here. Shane, I'm sure, is probably thinking he should have done the same thing there. It's at the time you guys need to put yourself in the better position to, go out and win this race if it comes down to that. I mentioned at the very beginning that I wanted a good, clean race, and so far we've gotten that. But maybe some of these playoff guys, I mean, all 5 guys in this pack have a red banner and would love to get a winner sticker over their door. I'm sure they would love a caution right now, but at this rate, they're going to be the ones to cause it because there's no one else around anyone else in any other part of this track.
well, I mean, so far pretty much every race this season has found some way to make the ending about as exciting as can be. So, I mean, not to say that it can't be. I mean, you still got the top two like within a bumper of each other. So, those guys are gonna definitely put on a good show because neither of them have anything to lose with the gap that they have. Ogo, LaPrade, Sides are praying for a caution. Amoito is saying, "Oh God, no," and Gonzalez also saying, "Please on the caution in the 69."
I'm really interested to see when these guys make their last pit stop because they're going to need to do it. And now we are, I think, at 18 to go on this lap now. What lap are they going to come in, get tires? Are they going to get 2? Are they going to get 4? I'm really interested to see how that works out because, I know Shane personally, sometimes he does a 2-tire strat at the end of the race. Sometimes a bunch of cautions come out and you can hold it. But, I mean, here, 2 tires might not be a bad idea if you're just looking to win this race.
Well, and then the follow-up question is I know it's only marginal based off of speed for the pit crews and everything, but, do you go for left side tires? Do you go for right side tires if you go for a 2-tire stop?
It would almost definitely have to be right sides because that would give you the most grip around this track with how much tire wear there really is. At this point, I mean, all of them could pit whenever they want to. At this point, Robbie Gilman has done so, actually. Ooh, he might get a big undercut again here. I mean, it's what he has to do.
It looks like he has more side damage too, so nothing to lose at this point. You got to throw strategy at the wall. If these guys pit after him and he's the leader, you get a caution. I mean, this whole thing could turn around.
I mean, I feel like the 3rd, 4th, 5th place drivers right now are probably thinking that they have to do something way off strategy to make that happen.
Now in the pits too.
Henry's maybe going into the pits. No, but I think he did get a little loose and slowed up the 69 a little bit.
Well, 69 now on fresh tires. We'll see how much ground he's going to be able to make up. Justin Allen has actually closed in quite a bit on the 37, who's still clutching. I almost wonder if he's lost too much time at this point to even make that work. But hey, it's like you said, throw something at the wall, see if it sticks. We're at 15 to go in, can arguably be the quickest race of the season thus far. But who's going to blink first? Who's going to come down pit road trying to go off sequence? Are they going to try to stretch it? Will the leaders even go all the way to the end of the fuel run? We don't know.
Will they go all the way to the end of the fuel run without trying to fight each other for position, too, is another good question.
Shane Sides actually just pounded the wall pretty good, so he might need to also be trying something here. The 36 takes advantage of that. Will pass him. That is for 5th. Shane maybe thinking the crossover here.
It depends on if the 36 help or the 63 helps him, and I don't think that's going to happen.
I think he's a little too far back. Almost got the quarter panel there. But they will stay the same. Man, is Anderson just toying with the 18, or are they that dead even? Who knows?
He is good enough to do that, but also Malin is good enough to just hold him back whenever he feels like it. And, I mean, I'm not sure what the lap times have been. I haven't really paid attention. But, I don't know. Malin, or Anderson could definitely get around him, but, I mean, that 18 is going to put up a fight. They're going to fight each other no matter what, even if there's nothing on the line for either of them.
Oh my gosh, knowing what the 18 is capable of, I think it'd be hard-pressed to see that 93 pass him, even if he is faster.
Malin is like a sleeper agent, I swear. You just say tire saving, or if you try to pass him or something, he just wakes up and, you know, it's off to the literal races with them.
I want to state something. We were talking about fast laps and everything like that. I'm looking at the fastest laps column. The 18, he's sitting 11th with a 36.807. The fastest lap of this entire race, Jovan Anderson with a 36.668.
Wow, yeah, fancy that.
Do we have an incident on pit road?
Let's see here.
See a lot of smoke. Looks like
man.
Henry might have missed his box.
We'll look here really quickly.
I'm taking a look.
Uh,
He is just spinning the entirety of pit road.
I think that he's just having fun at this point. I mean, he just dove it on. Oh.
Like we said, nothing to lose. What I've been putting on a show for the fans. Oh, do we have a...
No, just looking as to what sent the 37 around, he clipped the yellow line on the outside edge of the pit road, and it sent him around.
And then I think he just had fun with it at that point. He has retired from the race. The 63 is pitting. Holy crap, he did a great job of getting down to speed there. 77 also on pit road. So the first of the, I would say the top 2 packs is now on pit road.
I mean, there's no way they stretched it on fuel, right? I mean, there's absolutely no way.
18, 93, 2, and 74 have now, and 7 have all made their claims that they are going to be pitting this time.
This is where the race is going to be decided. If it stays green, this is it.
Here we go. Going down pit road, both looking pretty clean. A little sideways.
Oh no!
Oh, no! Oh, he clipped the 74, but he saved it!
Oh my gosh!
As long as they get the 55 before that line and they're clean, that's all that matters.
Golly, that was a driving job right there. Incredible job by those drivers. They're all down to pit road. There's Sean Ryan in the 42. Robbie Gilvin going by.
Oh man, Dunn going hard in his box.
We'll see how much time the 69 and
Malin,
the 63
no tires.
No tires!
Wow.
I almost questioned that. But we'll find out here. Ooh. Did the 74...
Oh no, Malin took rights. Never mind, I'm sorry.
Okay, he took rights. The 74, the 36, and the 2 have all jumped this 93.
Oh, and Malin has a buffer too.
Oh yeah,
this might have been the call.
Yeah, 10 laps.
93, way behind though.
Yeah, now side by side with the 2. 2 lets him go.
We are going to have to keep a tight look on these guys' lap times.
Oh.
I'm really interested to see if Dunn can pull this off. This could be an incredible ending to what has been a very clean race. I mean, this could go down as one of the best IMRC races just in terms of racecraft and just everything. If it ends perfectly too, this could be icing on the cake.
I mean, the lap time here is going to say it all pretty much.
Watch out for Natan too. I mean, he could easily just sabotage Dunn here just by pinching him or something, but now Jovan's getting around him.
I was going to say, if Anderson doesn't try to make the move for himself, which it looks like he will. So, and he lets them go. Oh my gosh.
That's very interesting.
Oh, the 93. Did they take 2 tires as well? Or did they take 4?
I believe they took 4. Malin got a. Oh well, you know what? I can't say I'm too sure. I'd have to go back and look at their pit stops, which I could do real quick.
37.4. Joven just turned, I believe, the fastest lap of the entire race. Oh no, Alexander Gonzalez actually holds that.
Yep, 36.570 for the 63 car.
I think that those guys just took 2, because I'm looking at their lap times. They're still way off.
Johnson definitely took 4. I just watched it. So that's probably why he got out behind a lot of these guys, is because he took 4.
But does he have enough time to reel in the 18, who turns a 37.2? Joven with the 36.7. And the gap is 5 seconds.
Over,
I think that this is Mounds to lose.
Yeah, that was a good call. I mentioned 2 tires could be it, and I mean, it looks like they all took it too. I think that was the only strategy at that point. They waited to pit a pretty long time, so that was maybe the right call.
You know, they gambled. They gave it a shot. So, barring something insane happening, it's looking pretty set as it stands. Tyler Mounds just has to navigate the next 6 laps cleanly.
And with the way the point situation is, no one's really, fighting one another. It's more of, just hoping Natan finishes below the top 10, and with the guy in 10th place being 1 lap down, it's looking next to impossible for that.
Yeah, Molito pretty much has it locked up. Malin looking good at the moment. Still got 5 laps though, and some battles maybe still to be decided. But it is 4.3 seconds for Tyler Malin. Win number 5 on the horizon for that Intel number 18. It has been a great season for them. 5 laps to go now to bring it home.
Now, the one thing that I wanted to say is, even though that the 93 is closing in, he's not closing in by much. Malin is actually still keeping a pretty consistent speed around the racetrack. He's probably losing it more in the corners, but I think it's negatable.
It's about half a second to 3/4 of a second per lap. I mean, it might be under a second by the time we reach the checkered flag, but I don't see it quite closing up enough. Another 37.4 and a 36.7. Got it down under 3 seconds.
Yep.
But 3 laps to go.
2.94 seconds difference.
It's going to have to be a second per lap now for him to even get there and nonetheless make the move.
Not only is this Mountain's race to lose, this is honestly his season, or their season to lose, because, I mean, their talent matches the number they got on that door correlating to the actual NASCAR driver. I would say they're the Kyle Busch of this series, minus a bit of the whining.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. We were at 3 to go officially now. A 0.5 and a 0.9, so down to 2.3. Joman is giving it everything that he has. Gap between the 74 and 36 is looking pretty consistent as the 42 gets out of the way.
And Ogo and Shane now kind of fighting for position back here. The 7 almost collecting the 2 in a wreck. I mean, I thought he was going to take his rear end off there. Yeah, Ogo, I think, maybe a little frustrated.
Ogo may have also maybe taken 4 as opposed to 2. Yeah, his lap time is way quicker, so I think Ogo also had 4 tires.
Yeah,
gonna come up short of Homestead.
It could be a case of just throwing it at this point, because I mean, there's 2 laps to go in the race, and you're in 5th place at the moment. So
I'll let you finish that sentence there, Blake.
Oh, I was just gonna say the lap gap has now changed to 1.7. I don't know. I don't know what could happen.
I mean, unless
he would have to get the draft, and I'm not sure if that could happen. I mean, if it's it could be within a second.
Yeah, we're at the white flag here, unless Shane decides, nope, never mind, we're going an extra 10 laps. But Tyler Malin looking good. It's 1.1 seconds. Anderson is in his mirror now, but the strategy call was the right one. And Tyler Malin going 2 in a row, heading into Homestead stronger than ever. looking for their first championship and looking strong to maybe get it done, but the exclamation mark on getting it done, Tyler Mallon wins it at Michigan. The gap officially only half a second.
And just gotta say, what a heartbreaker for Dunn. Third place finish, but it's not gonna be
Ryan
enough.
flipping over.
Third place finish for Dunn LaPrade, but it's
gonna come up
is
short.
how it is.
I mean, had a great season. And it's not a done season. No pun intended. I'm sorry. But hopefully we'll see Dunn come out at Homestead as well and maybe make some noise. A congratulatory bump there. But the championship 4 is now set at Tyler Mallon, Roger Ray, Dejan Weeks, and Natan Amoedo, who's going to point his way in, burn it down in celebration, and a burn down for the 18 as well. Win number 5, more than double any other driver. Any other driver with multiple wins would be Roger Ray, Austin Ogo, Dylan Schwallenberg. But they only have 2 wins apiece, so you gotta look at that 18 as the favorite. But definitely don't expect the 84, the 10, or the 36 to lay back either.
That is career win number 8 for Tyler Mallon. So all time, that would rank them in, I believe, 6th place. Dylan Poteet with 9 wins. Schwallenberg, no one's touching that win record, 34 wins.
35. I'm not surprised. He's been around for a while. As a little makeshift victory lane there. And Mallon going to park it there and call it a race in what I can only describe as the fastest and yeah, that race was caution free. Only the second caution free race of the season. Watkins Glen being the only other one, and maybe not quite the thriller that almost every other race this season has been, but still fun to watch nonetheless.
Just a very good strategy, tire management race, and you know, as a driver, maybe not a spectator, but as a driver, that is the race that you want to have. And unfortunately for all the other playoff guys, they probably would have loved a bit more excitement. But in order for the excitement to happen, they pretty much would have had to wreck each other, and I'm glad that didn't happen. So we had, you know, the best driver going in, which was Natan at the end of the day. So congrats to Natan. Congrats to all the Final Four. I mean, it's going to be a pretty crazy race at Homestead. I honestly feel like it could go to either, you know, one of those guys.
Yeah, it's good. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. We were coming into this race thinking, man, it's going to be a major wild card. It's going to be people all over the place. Tie wear played a much bigger factor than we thought, and the result was about what you might expect. A driver that is no stranger to victory lane, who and getting interviewed as a winner, which we are about to do right now.
User was moved to your channel.
The Melon Boy.
Hello.
There's a nickname we haven't heard in a while. Tyler Mallon. Win number 5, more than double any other driver with multiple wins this season. With a 2-tire stop and pretty good momentum heading into Homestead. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good, actually. Wow, okay, 5 wins. That's a lot to wrap your head around, I guess. I don't know. I was really nervous that Jovan would catch me. He was flying for that last run. Like, I was looking at my relatives for, like, the last, 7 laps straight, and he was catching me by, 6/10 a lap. And I thought he had me, honestly. So, he was really good to work with all day, too. He, kind of drafted away from the rest of the field there on that second run. I'm just really happy about that.
Well, that's sorry, go ahead.
I was going to ask, was there any communication between yourself and Jovan going into that last pit cycle? Like, did you guys, like, talk it over? Did you talk strategy? Because You guys were on 2 different strategies. You took 2, he took 4. Was that discussed? Did you guys like say, hey, let's work together and just off and, don't fight me, coming into the pits? Because it looked like he wanted to pass you, but then maybe decided better of it.
The funny thing about this is we didn't actually say a word to each other the whole race. I think we were both thinking that we had a big enough lead on the rest of the pack to just draft away, or well, at least try and match their lap times so that they couldn't catch us. But then there was basically no communication. So I think we just thought alike. Thinked isn't a word, is it? But
It is now.
Well, that definitely shows the, like the talent that you and the 93 have. We talked about it, during the race when you guys were just taking off. I mean, you're 2 of the most experienced currently in NR, I'd say. You're definitely 2 of the fastest in the current scene of NR, I'd say. And that just kind of shows how smart that you guys are. I mean, it got you the win at the end of the race. So, I mean, that just proves it right there.
thank you.
And all congrats to you, and best of luck and Godspeed for you heading into Homestead. I'll just go ahead and ask, though, any closing thoughts for you?
Yeah, sorry I stole your other broadcaster for Homestead. He's in the Final Four now. So
Well, we got a pretty good one here who's made his booth debut.
yeah.
You done
Yeah, you
well.
think so?
You done well. But
Oh, why, thank you.
but great win, Tyler, and like I said, Godspeed.
Thank you so much.
But Tyler Mallon,
User
winner
left your
once
channel.
again. We'll go ahead and see who else we got wanting to come up here. We'll get the runner-up. Jovan Anderson didn't finish third. He did not finish third for once. We always said that he was the third place master. So.
I think maybe if I was in this race, he probably would have finished third because I'm the second place master.
You proved that at Atlanta, if I recall correctly.
Yes, I did.
You ran well though. But
User was moved to your
that was
channel.
a fun race. Oops, sorry for interrupting you there. Jovan Anderson, runner-up, got the 4-tire strategy, was able to close in to within half a second at the end there. We were talking to Tyler, said that there wasn't really much communication between you guys, so that was all just you guys within your own heads. But you 2 were the class of the field, really ever since that first round of stops. But how do you feel heading out of that one?
I feel alright. It was definitely a fun race. I'm glad we were able to have a nice, fun green flag race like that. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, me and Tyler, we both, know what we got to do in order to get the best performance we can out there, and we both were on the same page before. Obviously, we really got out there later on in that second run, so I wasn't gonna pass him in that second run. Because if we would have gone side by side there, they would have just caught us. So I think we both knew that, and so we just did what we thought was in our best interest. And honestly, I wasn't even really thinking about the 2 tires there. I kind of wish I did, because usually in those situations when that many laps left, it works. But there's a lot of tire wear, and I think I had some lockup coming pit road on the left front, not knowing whether or not it was the first or second line, so for sure. So we just went with that, and that's how it panned out. It was a good race, though.
It looked like to me when you guys were going in for that second stop that you were trying to make a pass on him. Was that what that was, or did you just maybe like you were kind of trying to set up the pit stop more than a pass?
I wasn't trying to pass him, I wouldn't say. I think I was just trying to make sure that I stayed close to him and made sure that he didn't get any kind of advantage on me really coming into pit road. I wanted to make sure that I was still with him, going out of pit road. And worst comes to worst, it just became 4 versus 2. So.
And you said you kind of held back on him on that second run. Was there how many points in that run did you have a chance to just go by him? Because it looked to me like you were just kind of biding your time. I wasn't sure if you were going to make a pass before the end of the run, or if you're just going to kind of stay with him and maybe try to get him on that last run. But the strategy just kind of took that away.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say because air is definitely a factor to a track like Michigan. Having that clean air usually helps turn off the corner. Whereas even though you got the draft from behind, which is so powerful too, you can get tight riding behind the car in front of you, especially coming off the corner. So I feel like we kind of evened out there at the end of the run because of that factor. And there was a couple times I could have probably made a move on him, but it would have been obsolete in the big picture of things. So I just, just pushed him down the back, tried to gain as much time as we could on everybody else.
And I'll just ask one last question for you. Can we expect to see you at Homestead? And if so, what's the strategy going to look like there?
If I'm there, which I do plan to be there, I definitely want to be there. It'll be the same as tonight. Go out there, have fun, have a good time, and put on the best race we can put on.
Well, then you should have tried to pass him. I'm kidding.
You guys put on a hell of a race today. I said at the top of the broadcast that I really hoped it would go like green all the way and be clean, so we could have like the best driver going into the final four, which I believe that we did.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think we definitely enjoyed it on the track, and I hope you guys enjoyed it too. I definitely did.
I was getting really tense in those last 2 laps. I wasn't sure if he'd catch him. That strategy was really making me excited. I was kind of hoping you guys would like photo finish at the line.
I just needed one more lap.
Yeah, no, you would have had him in that next turn. You were within half a second. You definitely would have had it.
Yeah, I needed one more lap. I knew even if I would have got to him on that lap, that he probably would have pulled the block or something, and it may have been obsolete. So it's hard to say what would have happened, but things pan out the way they panned out. I don't know if me getting caught in a bad spot with the other guys that took 2 off pit exit had anything to do with it either. It might have had a little bit to do with it, but that's just how racing goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Makes it more interesting.
I could definitely say, from a broadcaster perspective, it perhaps wasn't the most exciting thing, but as a fellow driver, it is always cool to see a clean race like that to the finish. But good job though. Looking forward to seeing you at Homestead. I will say, any closing thoughts from you before we let you roll?
Not really, but to add to that conversation too, it's always that much more interesting, obviously when you have that much more of an understanding, of what's going on out there and what everybody's doing. And I feel like I'm sure you guys, as racers too, understand that and do a great job revealing that up in the booth. So, we do what we can. Sometimes races end up like this. Sometimes they end up being crazy, in a whole nother way. So I give you guys props for what you do either way. And so thank you guys. And that's pretty much all I got. I come on here and shout out to everybody so many times that I'm good tonight. I'll pass.
Well, shout out to you,
guys.
and Ray, we thank you. I mean, if it wasn't for you and the other drivers, obviously we wouldn't have anything to broadcast. So, great job, and best of luck next week.
Oh, thank you. I'm just happy I successfully pulled off one of these interviews somewhat formally in a proper manner. So, thumbs up.
Which is more than we normally do.
I've been lacking at that, and I shouldn't be that way.
Oh, good lord. Who are we, Fox Sports?
Sure.
We ain't gonna be that. We're just having fun, man, and just glad to hear that you had fun, man.
Oh, yeah. You never know, though.
You never know.
Things evolve quickly.
You're fired. That devolved very quickly. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
User left your
We were
channel.
just saying, hey man, that was really formal. And oh, did that unwind? We're just having fun with it. We got 2 more guys here in the wings. We're gonna get them both up here. Dunlaprad, 3rd place finisher,
User was
and
moved
the
to
Tom
your
Morito.
channel.
We'll get them both up here, if I can drag him properly.
User
There
was
we go.
moved to your channel.
We'll start with Dunn. 3rd place, great run. Gonna come up short of the final 4 though, but still, great job though in a 3rd place and a great season. But how are you feeling?
I'm sad about Atlanta still. That's never gonna go away to me. But that was, you know, I'm mixed about it, but at the same time, I very am thrilled to be this competitive again in a race with these guys. You know, in that race, I really wanted to win that one so bad to get my redemption from Atlanta, but we did not. Unfortunately, I could not do that tonight. You know, it's unfortunate circumstances. You know, people different strategies and people hitting their marks better than I did, and all of that good old stuff. So it was Michigan is a wild card race, as everybody has been saying. So I knew that going into this race, I had to hit my marks the best that I can and try to be up front when it mattered the most. And I put myself in a great position. Don't get me wrong, but I just wish that we would have up there. You know, we won that sucker because man, that would have made the pain that I still get from Atlanta, you know, a lot better. You know, at least not feel as much pain as I did. But man, that was a great season overall. I mean, I'm very thrilled to be this competitive again and race with these guys. And you know, thank you Shane for running IMRC. You know, he put a lot of effort into this league, and I am very thankful that he, you know, let me come back and do this again, and everybody else too. And all the race. I mean, today was just a wonderful race. You know, caution free. I think that's the first time we've done that all season long, if I'm not mistaken. So I enjoyed that race, and I think the main thing was trying to enjoy that race too, but also trying to go for the championship, at least run race up there to get in the final four. But you know, I mean, it stinks that we did not make it to the final four, but you know, I've won a couple of championships already, and if I were to lose this one, you know, it's you have to endure losing in order to win. So this is definitely one of those classic examples of that. So you know, we're just gonna have to try it again next. See you.
Well, you still got a lot to be proud of. I mean, I know personally, knowing you a little bit more off the track, you had a little bit of a stretch there where you stepped back. So to see you get that result was pretty darn cool. But I'll ask you the same thing though that I asked Joven. Being now that you're out of the final four, what's the expectation maybe heading into Homestead?
Go win that sucker. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If I do not make it to the final four, I'll go try and win that sucker. I'm fortunate to win a race already, but I think I've been kind of overdue for another win now. And if I were to win at Homestead, then that will be a great way to cap off for what has been, as you said, a great season for me. So, you know, Atlanta, or no, Homestead, excuse me. I've always been, you know, kind of, you know, between good and kind of meh on that track. So, but I think knowing how I did at Lights there last season and knowing how historically I do over there, I think I'll be able to do fine and try to go for the win. But like I said, my main objective now is try to go after the win. You know, that's not focus on making it to the final four anymore, focusing on the championship. All I gotta do now is just have fun and go try to beat everybody. But shout out to Natan for making it the final four. He's been overdue for a final four spot for so long. So he's been in this for a few seasons now. So he knows his ways, of trying to win races and championships, but just could not get the job done. So, Natan, congratulations, man. You deserve that spot. My teammate, team owner too. So I got to be nice to him, of course. But yeah, it's great to see an Amato performance. Make it to the final four, even if it wasn't me. I really am happy to see Natan make it. To see in the final four, and I hope if anything, I also hope that Natan go wins the championship next week because he certainly deserves it.
I was gonna ask who you thought was gonna win at Homestead, but I think you just answered my question, and also you're on his team, so you can't really say anything else.
True that.
I guess you're right on that.
Don't say Tyler. Don't say Tyler.
Well,
I think he's already endorsed you enough.
Well, good job though, Dunn. We got a lot to be proud of, and best of luck to you at Homestead. We're going to jump on over to your teammate here. Finishes fourth tonight. Did not finish a single chase race outside the top 5. So well earned, I think, as far as pointing your way in.
User
Natan,
left your channel.
getting it into the final 4. What's the expectation?
Well,
As
you
if
know
it's
what?
really a question.
I mean, first of all, it's just fantastic to have that chance, to be in the Final Four. Just I have been in the IMRC Cup Series for 2 seasons now, and just I always run strong in here, but just I don't know, tough luck always got me on the playoffs, and this time I was like, okay, IMRC owes me a Final Four, and I'm going for it, and I was just very fortunate in the playoffs this time. Like they only had 3 winners. I was very consistent and had a great point situation, and that just, I mean, I'm very happy, and I don't know. I know Tyler will be a tough one to beat because he's doing a great job these past few weeks. But I'll do my best, and I'll try to give him hell and give you guys a good time, to watch that race and just. I don't know. I think that's pretty much it.
And I do have to ask one last question about tonight, though. And I noticed, at least in the first run, you were clutching quite a bit. Well, just out of curiosity, what the mentality was behind that.
Yeah, well, I saw that it was very possible to go for one stop, but and I wasn't losing time. Just I was very cool with just staying in the draft right there. So I was just trying different stuff. But then we got to lap 25. I saw everybody going to the pits, and I was like, okay, I'm not taking this risk, because it's not worth it considering the situation I'm in right now. So I just decided to go with the flow. But I saw there was a chance to go for a one stop, and that was the mentality right there. It didn't work, but it definitely could have worked, So, yeah, that was pretty much it. But yeah.
I gotcha.
The thing tonight was just don't mess it up, don't no mistakes, just do what you gotta do, I was very comfortable with the situation of going to Michigan because I know Tyler he is very strong in this track, so I was like he probably will win this thing, so I just need to stay strong and don't wreck the car. So that's what I did, yeah.
Well, like I said, you did not finish a single race in the chase outside the top 5, so great job there. Best of luck to you. I know the condition. I am going to hold you to that. I do just have a couple quick points to make with Blake and Will here. You guys obviously know more on the stats side than me. So, will we see, just knowing who has made it to the Final Four, will we see a first-time champion guaranteed, or has any of these guys won it before? It's more of a curiosity than anything.
I believe it would be a first time for all 4 of these. Our only repeat winner has been Dylan Poteet. And last season's champion, Zach Rogers, opted not to return. Let me check the stats once again. I will go down our champions. Our Cup champions, Austin Ogo, Jack Merkel, DJ Curtis, John Poole III, Cosman. Schwallenberg also just didn't show up tonight, so he doesn't have a chance to become a 2-time champ. Poteet got it twice, and then Rogers, of course, defending champion. So we are guaranteed to have a first-time champion next week.
That was awesome to hear. And speaking of Zach Rogers, shout out to the only person to have ever popped up in the YouTube chat was Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, thanks for coming by, Zach. All that message. He mentioned how quick the race was. And,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, caution free, that'll do it.
Yeah.
And a shortened race at that.
Yeah, because the smaller field, kind of. Anyways, I'll leave that point for off the stream. But on that note, though, we'll start with Blake. Closing thoughts about tonight and what Homestead might be looking like.
Well, I'll just simply say that we had a lot of interesting storylines going into this, and I will say that to all the drivers who are on the outside looking in tonight, to all of them, Dunn, Ogo, Shane, Gonzalez, Gilvin, Schwellenberg. The one thing that I want to make abundantly clear here is all of you guys had a shot to make it into the championship, and the fact that you made it this far is absolutely worthy of praise more than anything. There's always next season, but keep your chins held high that you managed to make it this far. And I hope that everyone goes out next week and has a great race one way or another. Now, in regards to the championship, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm going to go ahead and make my statement as to who I think is going to get the championship. I'm of the belief that Tyler Mallon is going to get the championship. He's just been a very consistent driver all through this season, and I really don't see Homestead overall being much of a high-pressure situation for him that's going to cause him to crack. But without a doubt, congrats to Malin, Ray, Weeks, and Amoedo on getting into the Final Four, and I'm looking nothing but forward to an amazing cap to the end of the season. And provided we can get it streamed, we also have the Lights Championship closing out this week. My brother Grant is sitting ahead. I'm 8 points out of it. Hopefully I can either tie it or get in there, but all things considered, we've got some great championship battles going into Homestead next week, and I cannot wait to see them.
And Will?
I'm very excited for next week because I think we have the best mixed bag of 4 drivers that we've ever had for a championship. We got Malin and Amoedo. They're like the top heavy side of the 4 that we have. I mean, they're just both just super quick and very consistent. And Malin showed that tonight, and Natan, of course. I mean, you just have speed whenever you put your mind to it. So I'm sure next week you can just throw some extra mental horsepower into your car, and I'm sure you could put up a fight with him also. But also, you got Roger Ray and you got Dejan. I mean, 2 of the biggest underdogs I think that we've had so far. I mean, Dejan winning Atlanta. I mean, I don't think it was shown over the broadcast, but Dylan didn't have too many good things to say about Dejan, saying that he wouldn't be running up front, and he ended up winning that race. So Dejan can definitely get a win when he puts his mind to it if he has a good race. Roger can get a win. Natan and Tyler, it's a given that they can win races. And as for my predictions, this one might be a shocker. I think Roger Ray is going to win Homestead next week.
A little bit of going for the underdog there. I am not going to put my money on anyone.
Can I say one thing though?
Go ahead.
Like, I know Dejan is the underdog of this Final Four probably, but that Atlanta win, it was totally earned it. He totally earned it. You know,
Absolutely.
Like, he had to hold that position for 30 laps. He had me, Malin, Dunn, you know, very aggressive drivers just trying to go for it, and he held it. You know, his tires just held it. He kept his position. He totally earned that spot. You know, nobody can take that away from him, and he's very aggressive when he wants to be. So if he's in P1 with like 5 to go, don't expect easy life for me, Malin, or whoever it is. So,
and I mean, I called those 2 underdogs, but in reality, they are. I mean, you guys are pretty much all equal when it comes down to it. I mean, if you 4 are at the front, you 4 are gonna take off no matter what, no matter who else is behind you guys. You guys are gonna take off, and I think it'll be an exciting race next week. I can't wait to see who comes out on top with it. Whoever wins this championship, I am extremely happy for them.
Oh, it will be interesting. That's for sure.
I'm
I
hoping
think the most aggressive drivers in the field there.
I'm hoping we don't have a 2016 Cup Series finale, but I hope it's something quite as exciting as that.
If we have something like last season, that'd be pretty cool when it was Rogers and Wets side by side down the backstretch on the last lap. That'd be pretty sweet. But hey, I'm just hoping for a good show. I will say good luck and Godspeed to all of the Final Four. And to anyone else who will be partaking next week. Blake, hope to have you back up here then. I will have to double check about the lights race. But for now though, and to everyone who may be watching, next Monday, 8 or roughly like 7:45 Eastern time, tune back in. We'll see who will be crowned the season 10. The illustrious number 10 champion. It's going to be a great show.
Let me
again,
do this.
But again,
No,
I-
hold up.
Go
Let me
on.
do this.
go on.
On that note, though, make sure to cheer for the 36 next week. Take care, and bye for now.
Uh,
Perfect. See y'all next week, though.
see you, everyone.